Well, good morning to both of you. We have Matt Laveau from iFinance Mortgage, but we have a special guest this morning. We're so excited to have you, Laticia. And I practiced the last name, Elizondo. Did I get that
Elizondo.
right?
Yes, you got it. Thank you.
All right, great. And you are from the Unity Group Real Estate and serving that great state of Utah, specifically Salt Lake City County and surrounding counties as well. So, welcome to our podcast this morning. The mindset of a champion. What
Thank
sets you apart? So, thank you again for being with us.
thank you guys for having me. I appreciate that. And yes, I'm excited to kind of dive in and answer some questions.
Wonderful. Well, we've got some questions for you, and we want to get to know you better so that we can send you referrals. And one of the questions that just to get us rolling is, how did you jump into real estate? And tell us a little bit about your journey into real estate.
Thank you. Yeah. So I got my license in 2012. I was kind of just inspired by my older brother. He's always been in the industry. He's in a different realm of real estate. He works mostly with wholesale investors and coaches them. And he was kind of my inspiration. So I got my license, didn't know what the heck I was doing. And it's kind of like once you get your license, you're thrown in the ocean with a bunch of sharks. And I was just that tiny little fish that was like drowning. On my first year, I did only one transaction. I didn't know what I was doing, and I just kept, failing and failing. And I finally told myself, I said, I have nothing to lose, but I have everything to gain. And I'm just going to fake it until I make it. And my mindset like totally changed. And and I think when my mindset changed, that's when everything else just fell into place. So that's kind of
Yeah,
how I
that's
got into it.
that's amazing. And you know, uh, I was thinking you said you closed one in your first year. That's one more than I closed in my first year.
Oh, really? Well, I
Yeah,
thought I'm not the only one.
no. I started off in real estate, and the only reason I kept my license active was because in case I wanted to help my dad or a close family friend or something like that. But other than that, I moved on to the lending side. But in my first year, like you said, it was rough.
Yeah.
I mean, you take your state test, it's like, all right, now I'm ready to go help people and make some money. Neither one of those things happened. I felt like I was alone. I was on an
Yeah.
island.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And no one to teach you, like, no one tells you, like, how you need to market, how you need to get clients. Like, you have your license, and then you're like, oh, what do I do?
Yep.
I'm glad I'm not the
Same thing
only
in
one.
our world too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you got to build those relationships and get yourself out there. You can't just stay at home and do nothing and expect everyone to come to you.
Yeah, exactly. I think that was like the biggest thing that I learned is I kind of just thought like in class, they bring in brokers and they're like, join our brokerage, and I'm thinking like, oh, they'll be our mentors. They'll give us leads. Like right when we get our license, we're going to be hitting the road, like, just driving. And that just wasn't the case. So yeah, it's refreshing to hear that kind of happened for other people as well,
absolutely.
So, do you tend to work more with buyers or with sellers? And kind of what is your current market like? And what about your services sets you apart that everybody goes, oh, yeah, I want to recommend Leticia to my friends and my family? What sets you apart?
Well, great question. Thanks for asking. So, in our market right now, it's challenging right now for sellers. And then we hear a lot of noise in the news and
Mhm.
everywhere, and it's kind of like chaos, with all these myths and interest rates are high, interest rates are high. It's a bad time to buy. I'm going to sit and wait until um, rates drop down. And I would say, honestly, I work with buyers and sellers and investors. It really just depends what is my client's need in that time. This past year, I've actually worked a lot with sellers, investors, and believe
Hmm.
it or not, that myth of interest rates are too high. I'm nervous to buy. I'm not going to get a good deal. The scared are staying scared, and the savvy and the risk taker investors and other buyers, they're leveraging this market and they're getting tons of incentives that in 13 years I haven't seen. And um, there are programs and incentives that buyers can take advantage of right now that just don't know about. And it's because of the noise and what they're hearing, all these myths. And the truth is, interest rates were a lot higher at one time. They were 9%, 12%.
Yeah.
I remember when I bought my house in 2009, my initial interest rate was eight and three quarters.
And exactly, and we're still lower than that right now. And the cool thing is a lot of our builders right now, they're offering these massive incentives. Again, I've never seen them before. One of them in particular was offering 9% to any new buyers on a 500,000 house. That's $50,000 that they are able to use however they want, right? And so my conversation with people, with buyers, is touching on their fears and finding those solutions. And I think in our industry and what has set me apart from other agents is we're focusing too much on the fears instead of focusing on the solutions and um, getting creative. That's the other thing is
Hmm.
this year I have gotten way more creative than I ever have in 13 years as well. I've learned seller financing. I've learned we can buy and sell with these creative strategic solutions. Sellers right now, they're nervous and they're stressed that their homes aren't moving and they're sitting on the market for months at a time. Um, but I just closed one last week. Um,
Congrats.
Thank you. And that seller was told, you're not going to sell, your price too high. In a market where we're sitting on the market for 60 plus days, we sold that one in 30 days. And she got
Great.
above asking price of what we listed
Awesome.
at. And the best part is we had buyer and seller were happy in the end. They were friends in the end. They shook hands. They exchanged information, and it was a win-win situation. So I just feel like we are focusing too much on the noise and the fears, and there's so many cool things that are options and programs and incentives that there's more solutions than people think. There's ways to buy down your interest rate. Um, if interest rate is the only thing that's holding you up from buying, there's a solution to that. So
We like to use the phrase date the rate, marry the house. You can
exactly.
always be financing better.
I love that saying, and we've been hearing that more and more, and it's just so true. Like you can change your interest rate, anytime, but take advantage of what you are being given right now, the leverage of price reductions and receiving closing cost and being able to buy down your interest rate and getting the repairs you need where in 2021 you couldn't even ask for closing costs. You were
Yeah,
lucky if you weren't paying above asking price,
that's right.
so
And that's the downside, as you mentioned, it's, Matt and I, and I'm sure you get asked too, Leticia, is, um, when's the best time to buy?
mhm.
And I tell them, when you're ready,
Yeah.
right? When you are financially ready
Mhm.
and Leticia has found you the house you want, buy it now.
Yeah.
Because as we know, as soon as rates get announced, oh, there's going to be a drop, even if it's a small percentage like they have been, people
Yeah.
get all excited. And some of those people sitting on the fence jump off the fence and
Yeah.
say, all right, more
Mhm.
competition,
Yep.
more offers to compete with, over asking, as you mentioned, that was happening here in California. As you, whew, it's crazy. And now you've
Yeah.
lost that edge that you mentioned.
hmm Yeah.
It's really crazy.
Buyers have an advantage right now where the myth is that they don't, and that, they just are going to pay more because of these interest rates, but the
Hmm.
reality is you're actually going to save more money. And again, the smart, savvy buyers and investors who have caught on to that, they are picking up deals left and right. They are picking up properties that are below appraised values, and they're taking advantage of the buyers who are just holding back. And so it's kind of like you said, date the rate, marry the house. It's like if if you were asked when to marry your partner, when is the best time to get married? Is there a time really?
Yeah.
No, there
Everything is
isn't.
never going to be
It
perfect.
matters when it's best for you. So when you're ready to buy a home, in any market, we will make it work for you. That it is a total myth that there's a perfect time to buy.
That is well said. And, I think that segues very nicely into um, the mindset of a champion because that's how you're thinking. You're thinking as a winner and a winner that wants to take your proven um, recommendations and proven methods to buyers and sellers and saying, look, we can all win together
Yeah.
if we cooperate, if we put our minds together. And so we want to dive into your mind a little bit deeper here and just kind of ask you, um, what does having the mindset of a champion mean to you? And more importantly, how does that impact your daily routine? So maybe tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I have really had to change my mindset. I think a lot of being successful in this industry is changing your mindset when we're faced with new challenges, when the market is always changing, that we are proactive and we're adjusting. So this past year, that's exactly what I've had to do. I've had to adjust my thinking, adjust to just thinking buyers and sellers can only buy and sell one way. Adjust my thinking to, if we can't get a low interest rate, my client's going to have a high payment. Um, I've had to get more creative. Okay, if we can get X amount of money given to you as the buyer from the seller, we can make your payments lower by doing a two-in-one buy down and getting
Mhm.
your payments lower. And then in a couple years, when interest rates do change, then at that point we can refinance. So again, solutions. Um, Creative thinking. More than ever, I've really had to focus in on um, relationship building and creating an experience for all of my clients, buyers, sellers, buyers buying a $400,000 house or buyers buying $1 million house. That my brand, my slogan is kind of that red carpet realtor, rolling out the red carpet for all of my clients and giving them an experience from the very beginning, from the time I'm talking to them to really hearing their concerns, sitting down with them. There's times where I'm up late at night, going straight into the morning. So working harder, being more creative, really toning in on that relationship and the experience for my clients. And in the end, making it a win, a celebration, something big, because it is a big deal. For some people, it's their biggest investment of their lives. And it's something that should be celebrated. And I feel like it's not celebrated enough. And so I really do try my best to make sure everyone feels as important as they are. And this is a big deal. It needs to be celebrated. And believe it or not, like these little things have gotten me referrals again and again and again. And I don't pay for leads. I don't have a special thing that I'm doing. I don't door knock, I don't cold call. Those are all great things that work for great agents and different agents that's kind of their niche. But I've been lucky enough to be like all referral base. So,
That's amazing. And, just to piggyback on what a champion does, this is something that Matt and I noticed about you. Um, we made one phone call, and guess who responded? Guess who picked up the call on the first try? That was you.
oh, thank
And
you.
that's something a champion does because they realize that every phone call is a potential relationship, a business opportunity, something unique.
Yeah,
And that says a lot. A champion will be responsive.
thank you.
And in our book, that's we check that off right away. Oh, she's responsive. That's great.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. I know a lot of my clients, I do tell them like you can call and text me whenever, and maybe at some point that's a fault at mine because I do take calls. There's last night I was talking to one of my past clients till 11 at night.
Yep.
So really I kind of joke around like I am your 24/7 agent and I will answer your calls, and if I am busy, I will call you back as soon as I can. So thank you guys for noticing that. I really appreciate that.
Of course.
So you've been talking about some of the transitions that you made as far as making it, instead of making it just a transactional relationship, actually making it a relationship to where you're talking to these people after the fact. You're coming up with your creativity. You're not really marketing all that much because you're just getting it based off referrals. Is there anything besides those few things that you have found yourself having to change or wanting to change to maybe make yourself more successful?
Um, yeah, I mean, for sure I've had to adjust kind of like I said, my thinking um and I guess my what's worked for me, I know may not work for everyone, but being available, focusing more in on like my brand and who I am and what sets me apart from the everyday agent. Really, really getting to know like my niche and, um, just, I guess, just really putting out there like what sets me aside from others and my experience that I give my clients. And I don't know honestly if it's the correct way, right? Like I'm just completely doing what works for me, and I've been lucky to know that it's working because I see the results and I see that I'm busy when a lot of people aren't as busy. And I'm thankful above all else for the trust and the opportunity that my clients, friends, and family give.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
I don't think there's one correct way to do anything most of the time in life. So, everybody's going to have their own personality and their own way of doing things. And, whatever works best for you is what's going to work. And it might not work for somebody else.
Yeah,
Really, what you've been doing has been working.
well, I appreciate that. And one thing I forgot to mention is like in the world of AI, like because that's also the other part of like technology, right? Like adjusting to the new ways of things. And, before this call, we were trying to figure out how to get my Zoom to work. And AI was our first one we went to. And I use AI too. And that helps me a lot. But in a world of AI and automation, More than ever, it is so important to be personal and to have a relationship with people and just treat people like they're human and connect with people more than ever. And I really do think that that's been an adjustment for me as well. Like I am connecting with people. I'm taking them out to lunch and I'm sitting there and it isn't just about real estate. Like it's about like what's going on in their lives. Like these conversations that some people may not even think to have. And so thanks for noticing, these things, but it's really helped me out. So I'm thankful.
Yeah, that's great. And you know, one of the things that a lot of people have had to do to um, be more successful is they've created other little niche opportunities. And we understand that you also have another kind of a dovetail business that you do. It not only probably helps with networking and creating opportunities to meet new people. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, thank you. Yes, so I do have a second business. It's called Forever Memories, and I'm an event planner for all any event you can think of, from just kind of the birthdays to retirements to baby showers, you name it. And it's something I've always enjoyed. It started out as I was just doing it as a hobby, and I love to make people feel special. And so throwing these parties and get-togethers, a lot of it was like, I really want to make that person feel special. It's their day. Like, what can we do to make them feel unique and like they're important? Um, and so that just kind of took off, and a lot of my friends and family were like, "Why don't you do this as like a job, as a business?" And I was like, well, okay. And so that just kind of evolved out of like pure passion. And then it really has tied into my real estate because um, I try to make it a big deal with celebrating people's closings. And then the best part is my clients become really good friends. And so they're inviting me to their weddings, their baby showers, and they've asked me to host them for them. And so that's been so cool for me that I've been able to be in these life-changing milestones for them. And so it's kind of gone hand in hand. And the slogan for that one is, "Let me help you bring your vision to life." And
Hmm.
um, so it's kind of just like a magical thing that I really enjoy and love. And it's kind of gone hand in hand with my real estate as well.
Speaking
Oh,
of
that's
and
fantastic.
have you ever had someone use you for doing a housewarming party?
I
Someone
have.
you helped buy a house for?
I have. It's so fun. So it's kind of like a big milestone for them, and it's fun to surprise them. A lot of time I want to have it be a surprise even on that. So I'll ask them like, okay, what are like your favorite colors, or like do you have a certain vision for your housewarming? And so I'll let them kind of put their like hint of color and style on it, and then I'll just surprise them. And it's so much fun, and it brings their friends and family together, and their friends and family see like, wow, like your agent really went above and beyond for you. Like, what is her information? And I've gotten a lot of referrals from that. So it's been really cool.
Yeah, that's so good. And one thing that Matt and I commented on when we first, even before we were getting ready to make the call to you initially, was your social media presence.
Oh,
Your
thank
social media presence is so strong, and yet it's relevant, it's raw, meaning that people get the opportunity to see the real you. And one of the things I was just looking at here, I like this phrase you said, because I don't just open doors, I open possibilities.
you. Yeah.
And when you think about those types of things, and then people see a visual of what you're doing, how you're helping people and how you're helping people come to the closing table and then celebrating afterwards. This is what a champion does.
Oh,
And it
thank
just all kind of comes back and puts a nice little bow on top of that present that says, we're talking to a champion. We can
you.
highly recommend you and your services to people and to families. These aren't just numbers, these are families, they're people that
Yeah,
need our help. And so kudos to you for not only saying what you do, but also showing what you do. Let the world see what you do. So
thank you.
we're very proud to have met you via social media now, in person, virtually.
Yes, thank
And we have one more question for you, though,
you.
and it has to do with not just our own successful journey, but what advice would you have for others? Maybe they're new to real estate, maybe they've been in real estate for many years and they're kind of struggling, trying to figure out what's my next path? How am I gonna, should I stay in real estate? What advice would you have for people to be successful in 2026?
Sure. So I do get a lot of newer agents asking me, and especially in this last year, a lot of people, agents struggling and not knowing if they can renew their license or not. And the biggest thing I would say, and again from experience and sinking and failing multiple times over and over and over again, in my personal experience, is um, it is all within. Your confidence will play such a big role. And when you stop being afraid and when you just know that you're enough, you're smart enough, you're intelligent enough to really put out the information, you're the professional, um, people will see right through that. So if you aren't confident, people will see right through that. And when you're hearing all the noise in social media, in the news of why buyers are scared, for me, the biggest thing is find the solutions. That we can focus on the fears and the what ifs and really waste time doing that, right? But
Yeah,
if we find solutions for people, you are their hero and they will continue to send people to you and they will always come back to you.
that is well said. Well said from a champion.
Thank you. You guys are awesome. I'm so happy to have connected and to finally meet you guys. And you guys are doing something very different, unique, and beneficial to so many agents. So thank you guys for the opportunity too.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Of
Thank
course. And I think we might have mentioned this before, but I also work with a wonderful group of foreign investors
you.
who are constantly looking for investment opportunities, not only for themselves, but they also help others who have no idea how to invest in the United States. And so they help train them and things like that. So I'm going to also want to work with you to see what properties in Utah might be, um, worth their attention as well. And possibly we can even share some opportunities there, give you some clients, and we'll help close them out together. We have a great foreign national DSCR program that can close quickly, and so we're excited about that program. We can do that in all states except for like New York and Alaska, I think.
No, that's great. I mean, there are so many opportunities in Utah right now. And like I said, this past year, I've actually worked with a lot of investors. They've been my main clients this year, and they're picking up deals left and right. And I mean, they're leveraging the homes that are sitting on the market for months at a time. And some sellers are just ready to get out of them. Some, are trusty cells. And I had one guy in particular. I've done 5 investments with him this year. one home in particular kind of stood out to me, but we picked it up for 700,000, which sounds like a lot, right? But in a prestigious area where homes are worth 1.3, 1.5 million,
Hmm.
picking up a home for 700,000 is
Still,
still,
yeah.
yeah. So there's some pretty cool opportunities out here in Utah. So if I can help with anything, and I'd love to work with you and your team. You guys are awesome. So please let me know. I'm always available to you guys.
Absolutely. Well, again, thank you so much on behalf of Matt and I from iFinance Mortgage. We are just so blessed to have had you today on our podcast. Again, for purposes of announcing who you are, where you serve, Laticia Elizondo, Unity Group Real Estate, serving Salt Lake City County there in Utah and the surrounding counties. So we look forward to sending you referrals and seeing some more happy families this year.
Yes, I am with you on that. And thank you again for the opportunity. And I hope that we get to talk more and continue building our relationship as well. And if you guys need anything, just let me know.
Sounds
We
good.
sure will.
Thank you guys.